আপনাদের সবাইকে স্বাগত অর্থ সংলাপে। আপনাদের প্রিয় অনুষ্ঠান বাংলাদেশের অর্থনীতির এগিয়ে যাওয়া, সংকট, সম্ভাবনা সবকিছু নিয়ে আমরা আলাপ করি অনুষ্ঠানে। আপনি নিশ্চয়ই দেখেছেন যে প্রতিটা অনুষ্ঠানে আমরা একটা বিষয়ের গভীরে যেতে চাই। আজকের বিষয় পোশাক খাত, বিশ্ববাজার এবং যুক্তরাষ্ট্রের বাজার। এই সম্পর্কে কথা বলতে দুজন বিশিষ্ট জন, সংশ্লিষ্ট জন আমাদের সাথে এসেছেন। কাজী ইফতেখার হোসেন, তিনি বাংলাদেশ গার্মেন্ট বাইং অ্যাসোসিয়েশনের হাউস অ্যাসোসিয়েশনের সভাপতি। আরেকজন আছেন ভেরি রিনাউন্ড পারসন, হি ইজ ম্যানুফ্যাকচারার.com, ওয়ার্ল্ড সেকেন্ড লার্জেস্ট, North America's second largest sourcing, I think, our website you have, CEO Mr. Jason Prescott. Welcome, Mr. Jason Prescott and Mr. Iftikhar here. I think at first I should go, Mr. Jason, because we have you here as very precisely. How is market in America for Bangladesh now? And how is market in Canada for Bangladesh now?
Percentage-wise, if you look at the numbers, I mean, the growth for Bangladesh is second to none. Bangladesh enjoys the privilege of being a least developed country, which gives it, duty-free opportunity. And, I think the problem is you're just not having the Bangladeshi enterprises and the government, supported enough so we can get there and really take advantage of some of these opportunities.
The duty free, but we are still facing barriers in USA. USA is not providing us the duty-free access. Do you think it is justified, or how your observation is that?
I think you have a free capital market, and I think to say justified or not, it's up to the local enterprises to make a big push, go abroad, and find the right vehicles to, find credible partners who are going to develop the trade and open the markets.
Mr. Kazif, what he said, উনি যেভাবে বললেন, এই যে ইউএস মার্কেটের ব্যারিয়ারটা এখন কিভাবে ইমপ্যাক্ট করছে বাংলাদেশের এক্সপোর্টের সেখানে?
I have been come very soon. কিছুদিন আগেই আমি ম্যাজিক শুট থেকে এসেছি. I find that if Bangladeshi people can properly penetrate in the American market, it is very easy to enter their market. Because this market is basically very big for Bangladesh single country. Bangladesh is exporting $7 billion as a single country. So there is a possibility. And everybody is saying that GSP or anything else. If GSP is withdrawn from whole over the world, then business will be there. So how can you do business? You have to have a tactics to do the business. So I think people should smart to do the business.
Yeah, and you don't find a lot of companies out there like Mr. Hussein who have the audacity, who have the vision and the ability to say, hey, listen, I'm going to seek out providers and platforms, and I'm going to make the first step myself to find my own initiative and look for these opportunities. And, they stay stagnant, they stay in that mindset where you trap yourself, and, it's always really comforting to see somebody like Mr. Hussein who's doing it the right way.
Mr. Jason, USA is our first market.
Absolutely.
The pioneer market for Bangladesh garment industry. And last year we became
Growth
very
was very good.
worried.
9% growth.
9% growth. But last year the growth was very slow. The people became worried, and people in the industry became worried. Do you think it's the temporary thing, or how is the future of
It's
US
temporary.
market?
I think you had some media issues. I think you had some definite media issues, and I applaud the government for what they've done to reform that and put a lot of effort into saying, hey, listen, Bangladesh is a great opportunity, and look what we've done here to become compliant and to clean this act up a lot. Media. There's not enough positive media right now about Bangladesh, and I think last year when you saw the resurgence come, people started to open their door again, and retailers started to say, okay, let's come back here, let's come back slow, and they're coming back very fast right now.
How the media, Bangladesh is the media victim. Always the Western media portrayed Bangladesh as a country of disaster, as a country of country of nothing. But Bangladesh having everything. Bangladesh is growing. Bangladesh is producing high volume garment. How can we overcome these stages? We can become a good part of Western media.
Consistency, time, doing the right thing, credibility. It comes with improving the labor conditions. It comes with continuing to say, hey, listen, we have an effort on giving our people a better life, on improving the working conditions that we have, on getting rid of, practices that maybe Western companies just have a hard time working with.
কাজী ইফতেখার, আপনার কি মনে হচ্ছে যে যেভাবে জেসন বলছে যে এই যে মিডিয়া ভিকটিম বাংলাদেশের যে ডিজাস্টারটা তার কিছু ওয়েবস দেখালো যেভাবে আমরা অতিক্রম করতে পারি, আসলে রিয়েলিটিটা কি?
I am thinking different way. If you have a without innovation or you have a serious attitude that I have to go their goal, then you can do anything, whatever you like. Your attitude should be very very serious. What this time when I am going to Magic, I was introduced with him because I feel that without have a one platform, how can I work in this country? It is not possible. So even Jason is not there. I meet his people and started the things. I think that people should come forward and make them himself as advertising for themselves. Otherwise, nobody will come for you to advertise. You have to advocate yourself. Then people will come out.
হাউ দি বাংলাদেশে কি তা করছে?
No, I don't find. You see, look India. India is IT specialist. People are saying India is IT specialist. But a lot of countries is IT specialist. Why people are saying India? Because India make these things by advertisement.
Market perception.
Market perception. Mr. Jason, you've met, I think, different Bangladeshi entrepreneurs and exporters. I think people coming to Bangladesh. What is the difference a Bangladesh exporter and a Vietnamese exporter, between a Bangladesh exporter and a Cambodian exporter? What is the difference? You can say the strength and weakness.
Well, geez, it's tough for me to say because I'm seeing too many similarities right now in the strengths. If I speak about right now how I was found, I had a couple of Bangladeshi companies that found a press release that we produced with the Canadian Apparel Federation on their website, and they contacted us. I never expected that. 10 years ago in China, that would never happen. But for Bangladeshi enterprises to seek out opportunities on their own, that's a big pro, that's a positive, that's a strength. Unfortunately, you still do see that stigma where it's like, listen, hey brother, unless you go first, I'm not going to go there either. I'm going to follow you if you go. And you have leaders like Mr. Hussein who are making the first steps to say, listen brother, I don't care if you lead or follow, just get out of my way because I'm going.
How they can change them?
I don't think anybody can change anybody. I think it's got to come from within yourself. I learned a long time ago that you can't change a culture. It takes
I don't
time.
say. I'm not saying that they should change their behavior. I see that how they should change following the global market trend. How they should.
There's got to be governmental support. You look at how China did it. China said, listen, we have 1 billion people plus, and we can't change the perception until we teach these people how to go abroad. The government has spent tens of billions of dollars on taking their enterprises and letting them go abroad and making sure they can succeed. And until that happens with Bangladesh in a much bigger way, it's going to be really challenging for these enterprises to have that opportunity. You go to a very big trade show, whether it's Magic or a show like ASD, and it's dominated by the Chinese. And, it's really difficult for a Bangladeshi enterprise to compete with that. And that's not to say that there's not just as good pricing, just as good logistics, just as good communication. They just do not have the ability right now to have the support that they might need to do that.
Fantastic. So, Mr. Jason and Mr. Kazi, Iftikhar, we'll come back you two again after a break. প্রিয় দর্শক, আমরা জেসন প্রেসকট এবং কাজী ইফতিখার হোসেনের সাথে কথা বলছি গ্লোবাল মার্কেট, বিশেষ করে যুক্তরাষ্ট্র এবং কানাডার বাজারে বাংলাদেশের বর্তমান এবং ভবিষ্যৎটা কেমন। আমরা আবার ফিরব তাদের কাছে একটি বিরতির পর। প্রিয় দর্শক, ফিরে এলাম অর্থ সংলাপে, ফিরে এলাম যুক্তরাষ্ট্রের বাজার নিয়ে সংলাপে, কানাডার বাজার নিয়ে সংলাপে। আমরা আবার ফিরছি যেরকম কাজী ইফতেখারের কাছে। কাজী ইফতেখার যেভাবে পয়েন্ট আউট করলেন যে চাইনিজ একজন এক্সপোর্টার, বাংলাদেশ এক্সপোর্টার ডিফারেন্সটা আসলে কি 10 বছর আগে যা ছিল এখন তাই আছি আমরা?
No, I don't think we are in that platform. Still, we are now gradually developing, not like Chinese, because Chinese government is helping the Chinese manufacturer, Chinese exporters. We are not get that kind of support what Chinese is getting. But personally, Bangladeshi entrepreneur is very very aggressive to do these things. Like a generation like us, and our new generation is coming up. So I am very positive that it will be progress if things is moving this way.
Okay, Jason, you referred about the government supports. Can you say precisely how Bangladesh government follow the other governments? What should they do specifically in the very short term or the mid term?
It begins with research. There has to be more market research, exploration. I've always felt it's a job of the government to lead and show the people the way. And throughout the world, there are thousands of events that are qualified, that are credible, that attract a significant gathering of buyers and sellers and investment opportunities. And it's truly the job of the government to find those opportunities and not only introduce it to the local businesses here, but to say, hey brother, we're going to take you there. And we're going to show you the way. We're going to build a pavilion, and for the first 5 years, we're going to make sure that you have all the tools, all the access, and all the knowledge. And then after we've taught you how to do that, then we're slowly going to start saying, hey, you need to do this on your own. We're not going to leave you out on your own. We're not going to say, hey, listen, learn how to swim or drown, but we're going to slowly back off until you understand how to succeed.
One thing I think definitely you observe the activities of the trade bodies like BGMEA, BKMEA, who deal our government exporters associations, the owners association. How you rank their activities, their efficiency and their foresight, how you rank them?
I think, with the EPB, they're doing all they can. I met with the vice chairman today, and she was a wonderful woman. She was very hospitable, very warm, and she was very, very enthusiastic to hear about what we're doing in Toronto. They were very welcoming for the apparel and sourcing expo in Canada, and I understand that the calendar here for the EPB goes from July to June, and for the vice chairman to consider our platform and get it earmarked very quickly was definitely a surprise to me. So I can't say that they don't have that attitude that says go abroad. I don't even think the EPB has enough resources themselves to find those opportunities. And it's not that they don't want to support the local businesses here. They're just kind of strapped themselves, I'm sure.
I think you are very much impressed about the social behavior. But how is the commercial? I think the efficiency, professionalism in global standard.
Well, that's a challenge, right?
What are the challenges?
For example, we're speaking about, a trade show called GoTex, and, one of the main problems at GoTex being, communication. And, you look at the Chinese and they figure it out. They say, listen, no matter where we're going to go, we're going to figure the communication problem out. And for the main problem in a very robust economy like Brazil, and I understand there's political issues and there's a currency issue there, but there's still a lot of buyers there, and there's a lot of powerful people who can provide trade opportunities. We cannot let communication be the problem that gets in the way of trade.
So, Mr. Kazif, sometimes many people, foreigners, come to Bangladesh, and they're very, like Mr. Jason, most of them get impressed with the Bangladeshi hospitality and many things.
Absolutely.
But still sometimes they find very loopholes in the commercial activities, commercial efficiency. How you say why you are not developing?
My observation when I'm going traveling to lot of fairs and everything, I find that our R&D is a very, very bad than other people. And why? Because we don't invest this R&D, because we don't have a knowledge how to invest the R&D. If you don't research, how you know that what you have to do? The other people are researching what they have to do for the next 6 months, next 1 year. That is there. We have that less knowledge of that. And all the trade body have no research institute. Even our government don't have these things.
Absolutely.
So how can you think that they will give you this market is very, very potential for you? You come and here. You see, the GoTaxi say, this is a market where you have to be a Portuguese people. Otherwise, you cannot conversation with the people. No communication. So you go there, make a stall. After that, nobody is coming because you cannot speak. This is happening.
That's a very challenge, I think. Mr. Jason, what he said is a really Bangladeshi experience and the very true experience, the R&D.
Yeah.
Definitely he's smart entrepreneur, that's what he's pointing out. But the reality is, how can people can go to R&D when he or she has very minimum margin? The price of garment is very low, the lowest in the world for Bangladesh, as Bangladeshis are paid. Why? How can we overcome this challenge?
Well, you overcome that challenge one way. It goes back to what we were saying earlier, innovation. The Chinese know that. The Chinese know that their future is not to continue down the road of sourcing. They cannot be a sourcing play for the rest of their lives. The Chinese are now becoming a mecca of intellectual property and innovation. And when you continue to be a sourcing play, you're always going to be pitted one hand against the other. And that cannot continue here. The Chinese right now they're rolling out patents. They're rolling out copyrights and trademarks. They're having their brands enter America. Chinese brands are in America. Who would have thought?
But this is very expensive. Developing a brand in a country like
Sure.
America or Canada is
You're
very
right.
much expensive. How can Bangladeshi entrepreneurs, mid-sized entrepreneurs, the small entrepreneurs can afford it?
I don't think it's a matter of affordability. I think it's a matter of it's a cultural adaptation. And until you understand that your future is not rolling out a continued product for a buyer, it's saying, hey, you know, let's take a look at this and let's figure out what's unique about this cup and what can we trademark here and what can we put a patent on and how can we find a partner to help us introduce this to the market. You know, when I go to China, you know, I'll be in Shenzhen and I'll see thousands of products. Many of these products are not even in America. And there's a lot of buyers from Europe and America that just say, hey, you know what? Great idea, Mr. Factory. They come back to America, they put a trademark on it, they apply for a patent, and they give it a try. And if it succeeds, they hit it big. But these products are not being innovated by Americans. They're being innovated in many respects by other countries, by other producers. They just don't understand that they're sitting on all of this innovation.
Fantastic. Because if what he said is very essential and forward-looking. Do you stress this forward-looking thinking is now getting place in Bangladesh industry?
Of course, you see, the people are now looking for new fair, to go to the fair, to know the things, what is going on. I say, as example, one thing. America is a very popular nowadays yogurt pant. You never know these things. This is such a popular. Now it is comes to business to China. This business was 2 years back China. Now Bangladesh is coming up with this business. And the price also they can meet. Because things is that you have to be serious on a business. How you can make things proper price. Everybody is looking for price. Everybody is looking for quality. So you have to meet these things. And you have to research for this. And there is a lot of people looking for this. And also you know that now the cottons is a less demand, things is coming, new things is coming, tencel is coming, you have to innovate a few things.
Prices like God in market. I think Mr. Jason and Mr. Iftekhar will come back you again because we have to hear more. আমরা যাচ্ছি ফিরছি আপনাদের কাছে প্রিয় দর্শক আমরা আছি কাজী ইফতেখার এবং জেসন প্রেসকোটের সাথে তাদের আমেরিকান মার্কেট এবং ইউএস কানাডিয়ান মার্কেট নিয়ে আমরা কথা বলছি দুজন বিশিষ্ট জনের সাথে আবার ফিরবো একটি বিরতির পর প্রিয় দর্শক ফিরে এলাম অর্থ সংলাপে ফিরে এলাম যুক্তরাষ্ট্রের বাজার এবং কানাডিয়ান বাজার নিয়ে সংলাপে আমাদের সাথে আছেন জেসন প্রেসকট যিনি ওয়ার্ল্ডের সেকেন্ড লার্জেস্ট বিশেষ করে নর্থ আমেরিকার সেকেন্ড লার্জেস্ট সোর্সিং ওয়েবসাইটের সিইও আমাদের সাথে আছেন কাজী ইফতেখার হোসেন বাংলাদেশ গার্মেন্ট বাইং হাউস অ্যাসোসিয়েশনের সভাপতি মিস্টার প্রেসকট we want to hear from you if you compare with the 5 years back and now what changes are happening taking place in American market in the Canadian market that Bangladeshi exporters should watch and what will happen in the next couple of years or so.
Well, it's a great question. In the American market, you've had NAFTA, number one, right? You've had some wonderful free trade agreements that exist between, you know, Canada, America, and Mexico. In Canada specifically, they recognize Bangladesh right now under the LDC program. But if we speak about, you know, the opportunity here for them to take advantage of that, that's not going to last. We know that's gone in a couple of years. Yeah. We can't predict that. I can't state that. I can't guarantee it. But let's face it, we don't have a long time to take advantage of that. In the Canadian market, in the American market, you have a consumer that is continually changing their fashion, their brand, what they wear, and what they want to do. The Bangladeshi enterprise, like Mr. Hussain, has to study that behavior. They have to produce. They have to learn how to come to them with some type of a swatch or a presentation and say, hey, Mr. Buyer, we know what you want. Take a look at me. I'm cool, I'm fashionable, and I understand your needs. I know your communication. I have logistics nailed. I have a plan ready for you. And during this next time, these next 2 years, Bangladesh, they need to take advantage of this. There's no choice. If they don't, they're going to miss the trend. They're going to miss their opportunities. And I hope that by presenting some opportunities like our trade show, we can prevent that from happening.
Will Bangladesh be able to stay in American market in the same position what is Bangladesh having now, the same position in Canada, or with the present categories of products?
It's going to grow. And let me tell you why it's going to grow. Because Bangladesh right now, percentage-wise, is the fastest growing partner in North America. And China, the pricing is becoming way too high. China right now is focused on innovation. The middle class is booming. Manufacturing is moving away from China. And that means that all of the wealth the Chinese have obtained came from exports. It came from manufacturing. Bangladesh needs to follow. They need to follow that lead. And they need to say, hey, listen, there is a wheel that was already invented. We don't need to focus on reinventing another wheel. We just have to step inside of this thing and keep it spinning. And you have that opportunity right now. Would you agree with that, Mr. Hussain?
Yeah,
Mr. Hussain, what you are observing? We are observing the situation as Mr. Prescott said?
Yeah, I'm observing like that him, because nowadays you know that China's wages price is going up, and Bangladesh have a opportunity of the duty free, and also Bangladesh have another opportunity, that is Bangladesh now manufacturing their own fabrics also. So there is a manufacturing things. So you have a vertical things also here. So you can make a new innovation to give the market and catch the market properly. That is the way you have to convince the people. Otherwise, you cannot convince the people to come to your market, because they are not coming without having new things. So fashion is the fastest going things. You have to be with the fashions. You cannot be slow.
I'm going to back up a little bit here, because I was in a car ride today with my friend Nassim, and he has a trading company. And we were speaking about SEO and SEM, search engine optimization and search engine marketing. And he goes to me, what is SEM and what is SEO? And I couldn't help but smile. I smiled and I said, wow, this is a trading company who doesn't know SEO and SEM.
The knowledge.
I mean, you have so much,
crisis.
but you have so many Bangladeshi enterprises, and you say, hey, brother, have you optimized your URLs? Have you done anything for your metadata? And they'll look at you like you're crazy. What is that? No, I make shirts. We don't do that here. And you say, hey, have you done Google AdWords? Have you tried spending money on manufacturer.com or toptonwholesale.com? What are you doing on the internet? Oh, no. We sell to buyers. We have our buyers. We don't need that. Okay, you don't need that. I'm glad you don't need that, because the Chinese, guess what they're doing? They have teams of people right now that are working on e-commerce, working on search engine optimization and marketing. There's something called the internet nowadays. And if you're not investing in your own presence, not just creating a profile on a website like mine or Alibaba or Global Sources, you have to become independent. Invest in your own presence. You have to say, hey, listen, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to have a team who's going to research a keyword like trade shows in Canada. And I'm going to take a look at the first 3 pages of results. And those first 3 pages that I see, I'm going to make sure that I am also listed on those websites. There are some common sense elements here that are just being missed.
Mr. Kazif, Mr. Jason pointed out a very bitter experience, really, very bitter reality. Why we are not overcoming that? Bangladesh industry.
Because one day I say you that we are doing global business, but we are not know the global tools. Without know the global tools, you cannot do the global business. Unfortunately, I tell Prescott that Bangladesh get this chance to do the textile business because of the GATT agreement. But now you have to be very smart to co-opt with the world market. Otherwise, you cannot.
Mr. Prescott, I think we're going to the end of this show. I need a last answer. Maybe you detail where you see Bangladesh in Canadian market and in US market after 5 years.
significant growth. They're going to figure it out. I mean, we're sitting here today, talking about words like SEO and SEM and e-commerce and marketing. It's not about manufacturing. It's not about free trade. It's not about sourcing. It's about forming a foundation of support from the government and then understanding how to utilize technology to go out there and optimize on a search engine or spend money on paid search to say, listen, I know how to catapult my business from Bangladesh to America. And it's going to happen. The doors are open. You have a buyer that's willing to participate. You have a seller that's willing to sell. Everything else is there. And you have traders like Mr. Hussein right now who are leading by example, and you have to commend those efforts. So where do I see it in 5 years from now? They likely will be the world's leader in producing garments and textiles. It's unstoppable.
We should hope so. That's a very hopeful thing, Mr. Kazi, Ekattor, and Mr. Jason. Thank you very much, because in a very short span of time, you have taken us very in depth. Thank you very much.
Thank you to you also.
প্রিয় দর্শক, জেসন প্রেসকট এবং কাজী ইফতেখার, বিশেষ করে জেসন প্রেসকট বেশ কিছু বিটার রিয়েলিটি এবং ভেরি এসেনশিয়াল থিংস পয়েন্ট আউট করলেন, যেটা বাংলাদেশ ইন্ডাস্ট্রি নাই করতে হবে এবং কিভাবে এই পরিবর্তিত বিশ্ব ব্যবস্থায় আমরা এগিয়ে যাব এবং সাস্টেনেবল, যেটা বলে টেকসই অবস্থান করবো। যদি সে আশাবাদী, সে আশাটা বাস্তবায়ন করতে আমাদের কী কী যোগ্যতা অর্জন করতেই হবে, সেগুলো অবশ্যই খেয়াল করতে হবে ইন্ডাস্ট্রিকে, পলিসি মেকারকে, বাংলাদেশের সরকারকে। এই প্রত্যাশা রেখে আজকে এখানে শেষ করলাম। আপনাদের সবাইকে অনেক অনেক ধন্যবাদ।